Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Gordon Hayward desperately wanted to join the Heat in 2017, we don't even need to do the other meetings. Former NBA star Gordon Hayward recently announced his retirement from the NBA, and it seems he's spending some time reflecting on the choices he made throughout his career. One of those reflections revealed an interesting admission from Hayward. During a recent interview, he disclosed that he was really close to signing with the Miami Heat back in 2017. "I remember vividly telling my agent after each meeting, like I started with Miami, and I'm like, I want to go to Miami. We don't even need to do the other meetings," he said. "Miami is the place I want to be," and he kind of was like, well, we got to hear everyone out. "The Heat have always been a first-class organization, so I was really, really close to signing there. I feel like SPO, Eric Spoelstra, is one of the best coaches in the league, and obviously, Pat Riley is legendary in his own right. I was very close. Also, my brother-in-law lives in Miami. My wife would have loved living there and the beach and everything, but ultimately decided to go to Boston." That period was an exciting time for Hayward. He had been named to his first All-Star game the previous season and was one of the hottest commodities on the market that offseason. The Celtics edged out the Heat to secure Hayward's services, and things were looking promising for the then 27-year-old star. Unfortunately, in the very first regular season game of the 2017-18 season, Hayward suffered a devastating injury. He fractured his tibia and dislocated his ankle in his left leg just 5 minutes into his Celtics career. While he was able to return to the court the following season, it took him a while to regain his form, and he only managed to play more than 70 games in a regular season once during the remaining years of his career. Still, he was a solid player throughout the rest of his career. His best post-injury season arguably came in the 2020-21 campaign, when he averaged 19.6 points, 5.9 rebounds, 4.1 assists and 1.2 steals per game. The stat line is solid, but Hayward missed a large portion of the season with injury, playing in only 44 games. While Hayward's decision to join Boston can't be blamed for the major injury he suffered, it does seem that Hayward still has immense respect for the Heat franchise and thinks about what he could have accomplished had he joined it. It will be interesting to see what Hayward plans to do with the rest of his career now that his playing days are over. Perhaps he'll spend time in South Florida and continue to wonder what might have been. Miami Heat legend Dwayne Wade wastes no time praising Stephen Curry. Just a few days after an NBA champion tried to pin Dwayne Wade and Stephen Curry against each other, the Miami Heat legend is showering him with praise. In Thursday's jaw-clenching semifinal victory over Serbia, Curry recorded 36 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal on 12 of 19 shooting and 64.3% from three-point range. The Golden State Warriors guard was just a single point off tying Carmelo Anthony's single-game scoring record for the USA. Wade, of course, took notice of the outing live but didn't stop there. He praised the Warriors star on social media post-game, writing, "The Chef Curry game." 2 Heat players took part in this matchup, with All-Star Bam Adebayo booking his ticket for Saturday's gold medal game, while forward Nikola Jovic will play in the third-place event against Germany. Team USA is taking on France for the championship. Heat fans were a bit underwhelmed by Adebayo's performance, but had plenty to enjoy. He finished the day with 0 points, 1 assist, and a steal on 0 of 2 shooting. It's important to note he played just 10 minutes, largely due to the steamrolling Joel Embiid. Embiid hauled the United States back within reach midway through the final quarter, scoring 7 consecutive points. The sheer size of France's frontcourt likely means increased playing time for Adebayo and Anthony Davis, but don't anticipate major stat lines. The frontcourts will simply rival each other, while the guards and forwards look to record huge numbers. Adebayo is no stranger to making an impact all over the court, so expect a productive day from the Heat big man in some facet. Pelicans manager defines Brandon Ingram trade as mechanically impossible. The possible exchange of Brandon Ingram for the New Orleans Pelicans has already taken on the appearance of a soap opera this offseason. The star is available for negotiations, but the team is facing difficulties finding his market. He is still in the final stretch of his contract, so he is already eligible for a prior extension. The franchise's vice president of operations, David Griffin, discussed the complexity of the situation openly for the first time. "We were very clear that we would like Brandon to stay here. And, in the same way, he has already said that he prefers to stay. But, at the same time, there is a financial difference that complicates this negotiation. We have a limit value as far as we can go to keep the current squad together, and it may not be the level that Brandon would like. So, the solution is to wait," explained the manager, in an interview with SiriusXM Radio. "The difference in values in a new contract, in principle, is what motivates the Pelicans to explore the market for Ingram. The player could receive a maximum contract worth more than $200 million for 4 seasons, and obviously wants that amount. But the team does not plan to make such an investment." Griffin indicated that rivals have a similar view of the athlete. "He is great, but not to that extent. Brandon's value was very high at the beginning of the offseason. After all, every team in the league that contacted us asked about him. But the point is that you want all the players while not having to pay them. When it is necessary to grant an extension of $50 million per year, everything becomes complicated. There are some athletes, like Brandon, who are mechanically incapable of being changed," admitted the executive. The Pelicans, like any team in smaller markets, tend to face drama with each new extension with players. After all, each large investment represents a greater risk. Making mistakes is much more damaging when you are not a magnet for free agents or players who want to play with you. It is from this perspective that Griffin views the Ingram extension or trade. There are franchises that can accumulate talent at any cost. You simply give maximum contracts because you can afford it, in short. But there are teams that need to make tough decisions about investments, as they cannot make mistakes. Unfortunately, New Orleans is the second type of market. Therefore, we have to be careful in our steps, argued the general manager. The entire current scenario means that Griffin cannot rule out a contract extension with Ingram. However, the situation requires great care and both sides must give in a little. We need to make sure the fit is right and we are going to be sustainable from a financial point of view. So if there's a way to do this with Brandon in a sustainable way, let's do it. That's what he wants too," he added. The Miami Heat is interested in trading Brandon Ingram. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Brandon Ingram? Leave your opinion in the comments.